keeping your creative streak. For the longest time, UV printing was just a thing for the pros. Expensive, complicated, and made for factories. But all that is about to change with the eufyMake E1, the world's first personal UV printer. Isn't that right, Pierre?
It's allowed me to add some texture and context into my work.
And so much more. With innovative AI algorithms, you can add a new dimension to your creativity, turning 2D designs into 3D textures with ease, no experience needed. But where's the fun in painting just one kind of texture? Not to mention all the true-to-life colors to create with.
So you can use like acrylic, wood, stainless steel, just name it and you can probably print it. But for me, what's the real magic, it can bring my child's drawings to life. Like turn our shared imagination into something we can touch, hold, and cherish forever.
Now that's memory making made to last. But what if you're looking to scale up your projects?
Now I can create on any surface in ways I never imagined.
Think everything you love about printing studios, now small enough to live on your desk and powerful enough to redefine what's possible. With laser precision and versatile accessories, every brushstroke, embossing, and texture comes to life flawlessly. And the verdict?
The precision is amazing. It nails everything from tiny icons
For the longest time, UV printing was just a thing for the pros. Expensive.
Well, I can already see that a lot of you have joined the live stream. Welcome to the live stream and welcome back to Laser Engraving 911. We are live with some exciting news from eufyMake. I've partnered with them to do some awesome live demos with you and make some really, really cool announcements with eufyMake. This is gonna be an awesome live stream. And not only are we just gonna do some live demos and talk about what you can do to actually make money in your laser engraving shop, but we're gonna be doing some giveaways on the channel as well. We're gonna be giving away some free ink. We're gonna be giving away some gift cards during the live stream. And of course, at the very end of the live stream, we will be giving away one of these eufyMakes. Because, why? Because why? Because they're in stock right now. Like, that is the whole kind of point of this, is that these machines are fully stocked at eufyMake. No more waiting. Every machine that is ordered tonight or right now will be shipped within the next 72 hours, the soonest, or within the week, flat out. They have so much stock, it's ridiculous. This is gonna be a really fun live stream. But first, you know, thank you all for joining. Why don't we find out where everybody's at in the live stream? We got any people? Just kind of type in there, where are you watching from? Let's give a shout out to North Carolina, not too far from me. Let's see, who else we got? I got my buddy Josh over there. He's throwing up who's from where and what people are commenting on. Ontario, Canada. Welcome, Ontario, Canada, to the live stream. You know, I'm so glad that everyone's popping in here. This is going to be so much fun. So listen, here's how this is going to work. We're going to do some live demos. We're going to do some giveaways throughout the live stream. And in the description of this video, we've got links to not only purchase the eufyMake Deluxe or the regular version at a very, very nice discount that they're offering from now until May 19th. But there's also links in there, very helpful links on any of the products that we're talking about today. One of the big things that they're offering right now until the 19th is their special on the Deluxe package. It's $400 off if you get it right now. Plus you get an extra set of ink and $100 off the eufyMake care kit if you want that option. And if you're just getting the basic kit, which comes with the big bed, the small bed, they're giving $200 off of that. And also you can get $100 off the eufyMake care. So those links are right in the description of the video, and they're also in the chat window. So you gotta stick around for the whole stream. You gotta be here to win, so you can't just open it up. And also, one more thing that's really important. When we're doing giveaways, we're gonna give away something here, and we're gonna get, eufyMake is also running their own live stream, and they're gonna be doing some of the giveaways over there. So right now, you might want to use the link in the description to open up both streams so you can, I don't know, double your entries and get entered to win. And the final big giveaway will be on the eufyMake's stream. So you will have to go over to that site without closing this stream. So with that said, and we will have some Q&A towards the end. We'll open it up for questions and answers. So what is this machine? Just for anybody that's joining, this is the eufyMake E1, first ever personal desktop UV printer, and it is a powerhouse. It's a special kind of printer that can print on pretty much any surface known to man. And trust me, if you guys know me, I have thrown everything I could possibly throw at this machine. One of the cool things that you can do with this, which is really nice, is you can print on metal. These are the blank challenge coins that a lot of people laser engrave. But I was like, what if I could do like a 3D embossing on the same challenge coin and really get a raised 3D effect? And these came out like so ridiculous. You know how big these challenge coins are. And the fact that it was able to punch out that much detail in full color was just like incredible to me. And it printed right on the metal. So another thing that you can do, since we're a lot of laser engravers here, which you know I love doing, is you can laser cut your own acrylic, and you can print either just flat color. See, this is just laser cut acrylic that I cut out to make this ornament, or you can go super fancy and you can do the 3D embossment feature, which takes more ink and more time, but the effect is, it's so hard to, you know, we got some good cameras here, but the effect of this DeLorean here is just like incredible. So a lot of the other substrates we have out here, you can print on wood, you can print directly on slate if you want, you can print, there's another acrylic sign I made. And actually, really quick, I just want to tell you, in a practical sense, this week I had a customer send me these blank shampoo bottles and for their Airbnb, and they wanted to put the name of their Airbnb and what was in it, like the conditioner. I actually filled up the whole large bed. You can see me do it on the short. I did 17 of these at $12 a piece, plus a $40 setup fee. It took 24 minutes to just print black on these. So I was able to pull in about $244 for about $244 for about 24 to 40 minutes of work, you know, setting them up, taking it down. And this is the kind of stuff that I really see the value in the eufyMake, is actually offering my customers a color option instead of just engraving. So I just want to kind of position how I view this machine in my shop. Yes, you can do these amazing fancy prints like this. This was actually incredible. Took a lot of ink and a lot of time, and this machine can pull it off. This took 6 hours to print, but it is absolutely stunning. And you know, while this is great and super, super amazing, the way I see this machine is as more of a branding machine for my customers. And I'm trying to think of how I can make smaller things and brand them for my customers to make money. But this is pretty cool that you can do this. I'm gonna actually set this down for a second. So there are a lot of other features that this machine can do, but we can't get into every single one of them. One more thing I do want to mention is that this machine also, if you get the laminator and the Deluxe kit, you can do UV DTF stickers, and these are super great for items that are just really hard to engrave, or the customer really wants their brand in full color on them. This machine does an amazing job at printing UV DTF decals. I've just got some of them here. I don't know if they want to zoom in on that, but these are amazing decals. I've actually used this on some bottles. Just a very universal machine. So I think that it's time that we move on to our first demo, if that's okay with you. Hey, if you guys are liking this stream and you're enjoying the content so far, make sure you give this video a like. And if you're watching the stream and you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe to Laser Engraving 911. Show the stream some love if you like what we're talking about so far. I'm really glad to have everyone here. So why don't we set up our first print, and I will show you how easy it is to print some name tags. So what I've got here is I've got the small bed in, and if you notice, I'm using the Seclima mat, which you've heard me talk about before on the channel, because this is the fastest way to get prints done fast and repeatability. So I've got the Seclima mat. We'll list a link after this stream's over where you can get that. There is a link in the description if you haven't bought one of these yet. And what I did was I printed the outline of the name tags we're about to print to make my job go faster during the live stream. But I'm going to show you how easy it is to set this up. So now that I have my fixture or jig set up, I'm just going to grab these super cheap, already pre-cut, already white name tags that I got. And I might have to, and these shapes are the exact same size that I printed on here. Now, one of the things you might be wondering is, how do I get that off? I just put some packing tape, press it down and lift, and all that print comes off of there. So you can reuse the mat and print other jigs. I'm a big fan of the Seclima mat, and I'm going to show you why right now. So I'm just going to place these name tags right in here. You can see me doing this. Doesn't take long. And we're just going to pretend like a customer ordered a batch of 12 name tags. And I'm trying to make sure that my name tags line up with each one of my outlines. And this is a sticky mat. So as I press down, this sticky mat holds these tags down tight. And that's really important when you're UV printing, because when the UV light hits the ink, it actually creates heat. And you've seen me talk about this in my other videos, right? So you don't want that acrylic bowing up during the printing process. And it can especially happen when you're printing a really heavy white underbase. So we're almost there. Boom. Going a little bit fast because we have a lot to cover. But that's it. So I've pressed all these down. Now, if you want, you could use some adhesion promoter. eufyMake makes an adhesion promoter for acrylic. I usually use either methanol or their adhesion promoter. I don't really think that I'm gonna do it because we just have so limited amount of time, but you would just open one of these up, wipe it down on there, let it dry, and then place it in the printer. So this is also on their site. They have multiple adhesion promoters. So now that I've got those all in there, okay, they're not going anywhere, okay? We're just gonna set that back in. We're gonna lock that in, and now we're gonna open up the software. So my team is going to switch over to the software view, and I'm gonna open up the job, this job right here. So we got the name tags, and once these start printing, we're gonna actually get into the first giveaway, so stick around. So I hope you guys can see my screen here. So what we're looking at is all the different color prints that we're gonna print on these name tags. And what you don't see was the first layer that I printed, which was the template. So I'm gonna turn that on for you just for a second using the layers tab down here. And you can see the exact location where I printed my template, so I knew where to place my name tags. We don't want to print that again, we just want to print in the color, so I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to highlight my art, which is all grouped, and I'm only going to have to use CMYK. I don't need to print a white underbase because we already have our white underbase, which makes this job run even faster. Everything else is set up, so I'm ready to print. Now, the machine is going to go in and it's going to do a measurement of the height of whatever object that I put in there using some really cool crisscross lasers, which I just can't seem to get enough of. It's really cool when it measures the height of the object. But that's what it's doing right now. It's measuring the height of the object, and then it's going to tell me when it's done doing that. We're going to send the job over, and then while that's going, I'm going to share a little bit about laser engraving and kind of what my business was like before I got this printer. And then we're going to get this going. So it's sending it over to the printer now, which is awesome. And there we go. Let's take a look at the specs. I don't know if you can see this on the screen. This whole job is going to take 3 minutes and 57 seconds, and it's going to use a total of 0.07 milliliters of ink, which is like, I'm not even going to add that into the cost of the name tags, honestly. So I'm going to go ahead and print start. And there we go, printing in progress. And as you can see, they started a timer there just so you guys can see what's going on there. So what was my, I've had a successful laser engraving business, before this thing came into my life. But I can definitely tell you that throughout the last decade that I've been doing laser engraving, I have definitely had to pass on jobs where the customer specifically wanted color on the items that they brought to me, or wanted tumblers with their color logo, or wanted some journals printed with the color logo. And for years, if it was a small job, I definitely didn't want to use a third party. If it was a larger job, maybe I could outsource it to someone who had a UV printer. But as soon as this thing came in the shop, it was like, it was like, great, now I can start offering laser engraving and a really premium service, which is color printing using the UV DTF decals, direct print, whatever the substrate is, as long as it, you know, wasn't higher than the height requirements, I knew that I could offer them color and charge a premium for it. So let's see, we're about 1 minute, man, this thing's too fast when it comes to this stuff. So what I'm trying to say is basically having this machine in my shop has opened up like a whole new channel to my existing customer base and new customers for getting vibrant colors on their stuff. So I think it's time that we kind of move on to the first giveaway, why that's printing. So just to recap anyways, we're talking about the launch event here about eufyMake and the E1 and how they have units in stock. If you're just joining the stream now, this is a live printing event where we're using the machine live, and we are really stoked to announce how many units. I don't even know how many units they have in stock, but I have a feeling it is warehouses full, and they're all shipping once you place the order in the next 72 hours at the latest, a week, they've told me. And they've got some great deals going on. There's a link in the description and in the chat window. But anyway, back to the giveaway, because I know that's what you guys are really excited about. So for the first giveaway, we're going to be doing picking 2 winners here from this stream, and they're going to pick 2 winners from their stream that they're running on their channel. And we're just going to announce the winners right here, and then they will announce the winners over there. So like I said, if you don't have their stream open up another tab. If you want to get on that, go ahead. But what we're giving away is 2 full ink sets. So it's not the normal color ink set, it's actually a really valuable ink set. So it's 3 whites, 3 glosses, and a cleaning cartridge. And we're gonna give away 2 right here on the stream, and they're also gonna give away 2 over on the eufyMake. So if you wanna get entered to win one of those, you need to type 3D texture into the chat window right now on this stream, and then on the other stream, follow their instructions to type in what you need to type in over there. So once again, if you wanna get entered to win on this stream, we're gonna pick 2 winners here in a few seconds. Type in 3D texture. Wow, we have like a minute left on this. See, these are the kind of things that, you know, when you have the right material, and it's actually things that people call me, hey, can you laser engrave name tags? Hey, can you print name tags? Like, this is a common evergreen thing that people ask for in this business. This is not like some random, you know, product that nobody ever asked for. This is like a real practical use for this machine. And you know, I'm using the small bed. I'm not even using the big bed. Technically, I could fill up the whole bed and I haven't even done the math, but I could probably do a lot of name tags very quickly like this. So looks like it's doing a check. So what did we say? Yeah, it's actually a little short. No, it's about the right time. Yeah, 4 minutes and 29 seconds for some name tags. And they came out amazing. Let me just show you these. So here we go. These are how the name tags came out. And that was just standard printing. I didn't even crank it up to like high fidelity printing. That was just the regular standard 1 pass of CMYK, no white underbase, 4 minutes and 30 seconds. So at this point, to really make this like a finished product, all you got to do is take the magnets that came with it, peel these off, and these are dry, by the way. If you don't know anything about UV printing, these are completely dry. You don't have to worry about it being wet because the ink was already cured. Take your little magnet that came with it. This was a kit off of Amazon, seriously. And I'm gonna break down how much it costs. And there is your name tag with magnetic backing. So let me break down really quick. Do we have winners yet?
We'll announce them in 2 minutes.
We're gonna announce them in 2 minutes. Perfect, because that gives me time to tell you guys exactly how this breaks down. So for the name tags, I wrote some notes down so I could make sure I got the numbers right. So I bought this whole kit. I forget how many were in the kit. There was a bunch of them, but they ended up being 60 cents a piece for the name tag template and the magnet, like together as a kit. I would sell these in a batch of 12 for one of my local clients that, because it's not a lot of times that they ask for like hundreds of name tags. Usually it's about 12 or 25, sometimes 6. I would charge them 10 bucks a name tag with the magnetic backing. So after my costs and everything, that job that took about 4 minutes plus a little bit of time to draft the art up and set it up, you know, I mean, add on an extra 20 minutes of art and preparation time, and I made $108. Straight up. I'm telling you that I can sell these easily at $10 a piece, especially in small batches. Now, if you're getting into doing full beds of them, you probably have to lower your cost a little bit, but the amount of time that it took to print these is pretty incredible. So let me just make a few more of these. And sometimes they may want laser engraved tags, and that's cool. But when you offer colored tags like this, I mean, these came out so cool. Wish I had better fingernails. See, I'm just gonna stick that on there. I could be, right now, Michael McKinney that works at Novacor Semiconductors. So let me peel these off. I think we're gonna announce the winners in just a second, probably another minute here. That was great. So you guys make sure that you are giving a like to this video, giving some thumbs up to the video. If you like the content that we're watching, we're just hanging out, having a good time. I'm gonna set these aside for now. And we'll put that back in there for now. While we're waiting for the winners to be announced, I wanted to talk to you really quick about how I do my morning print test. So on the eufyMake, oh, we got a winner here, and then we'll talk about that. So I know this guy. So one of the winners is Jeff Turner 999. You have won one of those ink cartridges, and what you need to do is in the description of this video, there is an email that you need to email them if you were one of the winners on this stream. So just email them and let them know, Jeff, that you won one of the ink cartridge sets, and they will get back to you and make sure that you get that. That was awesome. So, and it looks like we have winner number 2. I see Josh over there. He's struggling with the screen name, but he's got it. He's got it. And winner number 2 on this channel for the ink cartridge was AZ Diamondbacks 28. So there you go, AZ Diamondbacks 28. You have won the other white ink cartridge and gloss cartridge and cleaning cartridge all in one set. Congratulations, and thanks for joining us here on the live stream. So really quick before we move on, I do want to tell you guys a really important part of my print process every day. So I got just some regular cardstock from Blix, or forget where I got this from, and I throw it on the small bed and I run a print test to make sure that all the colors are printing correctly, the white is printing correctly. But one other step that I do that I find really helpful, because sometimes I'm working on other people's stuff, not just my own stuff, and I want to make sure that print goes over really well, is I always print on top of the test print a known picture that I know what it's supposed to look like. And I usually print in full color with a white underbase. And this is really important for running your daily kind of print test. That way you're not just looking at, you know, the CMYK, but you're also, your eye is picking up on a known picture that, you know, it could be a picture of someone you know. It could be a very common photograph that you know really well. And if it doesn't look right to you, even though this looks good, you may want to run like a light cleaning cycle before you start printing for the day. So I just wanted to point out that little tip there before we move on. So We've already talked about the time. That was an amazing way to make some very quick money on practical products. If you guys are just joining us, there's links in the description. They're offering a special offer right now with all of these units all the way until May 19th. They've got the Deluxe kit, which you can get $400 off right now. Link in the chat, link in the description. You also get 2 ink sets with the Deluxe package. Now, the Deluxe package comes with the laminator, the rotary, it comes with the beds, it comes with the extra ink, it comes with the, you know, everything that you need. The rotary is really cool, by the way. I don't know if we're gonna have time to show that off, but it is very, very cool what they've invented there. And you can get $100 off of their eufyMake Care. And if you're just buying the basic kit, when there's nothing wrong with the basic kit, baby, that's what I started with. You can get $200 off of that and also $100 off of the eufyMake Care if you choose to get that. So just want to set a reminder there before we move on. There's links in the description. So I think now, what do you think? You ready? You guys ready to move on to another demo? I think we're ready to move on to another demo. All right, so for this demo, we are going to, let me get some of this stuff off of here. I can't wait to get to the question and answer section, honestly. Like, I'm excited to like get some questions. I hope we get to do that because I would love to answer questions. I have intimate, detailed knowledge about this machine. It's been very good to me. So, so for this next demo, we're gonna take out the small bed. And let me grab the big bed over here. It's right off of camera. I put it just out of reach. And once again, what do you think we have posted on the big bed? It's the Cycloma mat again, because what I've done is I've already made templates for the metals that we're going to print right here, and I've got some other templates if we get around to doing some other stuff. So once again, I've printed the templates perfectly on this mat. It doesn't stick to the mat. You can peel all of these templates off by just putting packing tape right on here. That's what I like to use. Packing tape works really, really well. Pressing it down and then just peeling it off, and the ink comes right off because UV ink can't stick to this silicone mat. So let's go ahead and get this. Now, I'm not used to putting this in sideways, but I think I can do it. Look at me, look at me, look at me. Oh my God. Yes. Did I get it in there? I think so. It's in. All right, so we're gonna load in the big bed and then we're going to hit finish printing. So we're gonna go over to the software now. Oh, actually, I went ahead of myself. We're gonna take that out and you guys get to watch me put the actual metals on. I got a little excited there. All right, so here's what I got. Laser Engraving 911. That's what we're here to talk about, right? So I didn't buy these blanks. I actually laser cut this acrylic. You guys can see here. So this is just 1/8 inch laser cut acrylic from Houston Acrylic, actually, one of my favorite suppliers of acrylic. No affiliate links in the description, but Pat, if you're watching, you make great acrylic. Anyway, so I laser cut these metals out and we're going to print on these, and we're also going to use the software to generate the art that we're going to print on them. So what do? We've already printed our templates. So I'm going to set these in each one of my little outlines. And if you notice something on this live stream, guys, have you noticed that I haven't used the camera once? Yes, I'm not using the camera because when you're using the 0-point registration feature on the eufyMake and you register your, calibrate your 0 point and you have a mat that matches that, then you don't need it. And especially if you're printing templates like this, you don't ever need to use the camera because in a production level shop where we're doing production like this, the camera takes extra time. And I don't want extra time. My goal is to have this job done high quality, as fast as possible so I can free up the eufyMake to do other jobs. And we're going to do 12 of these on this live demo, and I'm just pressing them down here. Boom, almost done. It's so easy when you have these templates to just press them down. Now, we are printing on acrylic, and you notice I picked a light color acrylic again because I don't want to use white ink. White ink's great, and sometimes you have to use it if you're printing on dark material. It adds extra time. It adds a little bit of cost, but if you can get away with printing on white substrates, you're always going to be in a better situation, because that way your prints are going to run so fast without it. So now that we've done that, now I can go back to what I did a second ago. Let's see if I can do it again. Ooh, I love that. Lock it in. Boom. All right. That was fun. All right, so we're going to finish this, and we're going to go ahead and, can you switch me over? Okay, great. Cool. So we're going to open up our baseball metals trace. And here is where we're going to use the AI feature in the software to generate a metal for a youth baseball logo. And what I did was I actually went to ChatGPT and asked it to create a good prompt for me to generate some art. Because in the eufyMake software, they've got an AI, so image AI tool. You can open that up. It's right over here. And then what I have here is a prompt that I've tested many a time, so I know it produces pretty good results. And I'm just going to copy this prompt right here. And I'm going to, if my mouse wants to behave, paste it right into the chat window here. And I'm going to hit generate. And it's going to think about it for a second. And it's probably one of the things I like about the AI feature in the eufyMake software is it actually gives you 4 options to choose from once it generates the art. So you kind of get to pick between what works for you. And we might have to do a little background removal on some of these, but we'll see how it comes. So it's generating the art. It's looking at my prompt that I put in. And let's see what it comes up with. And remember, I just left this trace here. It's really important that the reason I left the trace in is so we could snap our art to the middle of each one of these medallions. And then before we print, we'll remove the trace. So there we go. I like this one right here. We've got a couple of different options. Champions 2026. Youth Baseball League. That one's pretty cool, but I wanted one that was completely round. Remember, that's what I asked. I don't know if you saw my prompt. And this one has like a little flag that goes over there. So I think I'm going to pick this one right here. And we can zoom in a little bit here. And that's actually not too shabby. That actually did a really good job. Now, one of the features that the software has, which is pretty cool, is you can remove the background. So let's remove the background, because it did produce kind of a white background there. And it's thinking about it. And there we go. You see that background was removed? So now we have a perfectly clean logo, and you could even take it another step further and go to free crop, because I don't want all that extra space, and try to crop in a little bit closer to the actual graphic itself. And you could put whatever text you want in your prompt. If you've got a specific baseball youth league and the name of that league, or you want to put in your prompt, you can actually put whatever text you want it to put in there, and it'll put it in there. So I've kind of cropped it in a little bit, and then I'm just going to hit enter, and now my image is cropped. I'm going to resize it, and I'm going to bring it over to my metals, just like that. And I'm going to, I could zoom in a little bit. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. eufyMake, the software has a pretty good snapping feature, and then I'm just gonna hit Control V and make a copy of that. Bring that over. Control V again. Bring that over. Now I could, I believe, select all of these. Let's see, Shift. 1, Shift, Shift, Control V. Bring that down. All right, let me zoom out a little bit. Zoom back in. By the way, one of the things I didn't know for the longest time was if you hold down Control and scroll your wheel up and down, you got to hold down Control on your keyboard, you can zoom in and out of your page. So that was pretty cool. Space bar, you hold that down, you can move things around, page, you know, pan around the page. But I'm just going to set these in here. Oh, it looks like I forgot one there. Control V, make a copy of that. Set that one in there. Anyway, I just thought it was cool when you get a good prompt, you know, you don't have to overthink it, right? And there was 4 really, really good options that were picked there. I can use my arrow keys to make fine adjustments if I want. I'm kind of a perfectionist being a laser engraver. You know, I have a lot to get through on the live stream, and honestly, if I had more time, but you see how it just kind of snapped in there? There we go. Couple more. Kind of a perfectionist. I think a lot of you can agree with me. You know, I would make sure in a real job that these were all perfectly centered. Remember, we're not using the camera. So on this one, ideally what I should have done was I should have switched this to right here. I should have switched this all to CMYK, because by default it does white there. So let's just make sure these are all on CMYK, CMYK, nope, we're gonna switch this to CMYK. Let's see, actually let's use our, I'm curious now that we're deep up in this. Let me zoom out a little bit. I wonder if I can set them all to CMYK by holding down Shift. Yes, love that. Select all of them, so hold down Shift, and then I come over here and select all CMYK, and I'm just going to validate that they're all still CMYK, and they are. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. So ideally, because we're live here, what I would have done is made the very first one CMYK and then copied all that. That way we're not, you know, have to do them individually. So now I'm just going to go ahead and turn off the trace line. Let's turn that off. And now we just have our prints, and we're going to send that over to the printer. Whew! So we got that going, and while that's going, we can showcase, we'll talk about some of the other stuff that we see here on the table. So that's going to go ahead and do the height measurement. It's going to, just like it did with the name tags, everything's locked and loaded there. It's sending all of those over to the table, and we've got time to talk about some other cool things that I've made here in the shop. Especially, I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about print and cut. So I'll kind of share some knowledge on that. I think you'll be pretty surprised at how quick these get printed. Obviously not as quick as the name tags, but it'll give us a little time to chit chat. Yep, see that? I wonder if I could see, yeah, dude, the crisscross lasers, money. I love that that is the way that it figures out the height of things, and it's very, very accurate. So while that's sending over, And you're going to start the timer on this one too, yeah? When it's ready. It says, do not move the objects. And remember, we're doing this all using 0-point registration. So if that would have had to take a picture of the whole bed, it would have added even more time to getting the job completed. So some of the other ways that I have been using the eufyMake combined with my laser is making colored hat patches. And I think that's almost done setting. And the way that I'm able to do this, and I think I've already shown you guys this on a recent video. Oh, there we go. So this whole job is going to take 8 minutes and 36 seconds approximately, and it's going to use 0.34 milliliters of ink for all those baseball medals. I mean, come on, you know? When you're printing on a light substrate, you really can get away with some really fast times with this machine. So I'm going to go ahead and hit start. You ready? There you go. So we'll let that do its thing, and then we'll talk about this. So let's talk about printing on leatherette and then laser cutting those leatherette patches out. So one of the cool things that you can do, which I have definitely already been doing in the shop, is you can get yourself whatever your favorite leatherette is, right? You can put a sheet in there that's actually, you know, fits your bed size, and you can print all your patches out first on there. You can print all your patches out first on there, and then print some registration marks on there, whether you're on Lightburn or you're using like the Epilogue Ascent, and then bring those over to your laser and it will automatically cut out all those colored patches. I printed on some copper leatherette from Lone Star Adhesive, and then I was able to come over here on this Richardson hat and put this right on. When you are printing on leatherette, you want to make sure that you switch out your ink to flexible ink so it can flex on the hat. So just a note there. But while that's printing and we've got that 8 minutes going, I wanted to talk to you a little bit more about print to cut, but it's time for the next giveaway. So, yeah, you guys ready for another giveaway? I am. So this one's kind of a juicy one, because what we're going to be doing while this is printing is we're going to be giving away 3 $150 gift cards on this stream, and then also on Eufy stream. I hope you guys have both streams open. If I was watching, I would have both streams open. I'd be playing both sides. But anyway, we're going to be giving away 3 $150 eufyMake gift cards that you can use on the site to get ink or accessories or whatever it is. And if you want to get entered to win that, what you need to do is we're going to pick 3 winners here, just like we did a few minutes ago, is you want to type in the word Jet Clean in the chat window. So type in the word Jet Clean in the chat if you want to get entered to win one of those 3 $150 eufyMake gift cards. And if you want to try your luck over on the eufyMake stream, just follow the instructions that they've got going on over there, because they have like a slightly different system, but that is what's going on this channel. And I'm telling you, if you can, you know, double dip, go for it. You just up your chances, right? So now that we've kind of started that giveaway, we'll pick some winners in a second. The other thing that I have been doing recently, which has worked out really well with the print and cut feature, is I've been also printing on acrylic and making acrylic keychain tags or keychains. And it's the same process whether you want to print on acrylic or print on leatherette using that print and cut feature. So I have a whole video that you can watch on my channel on how these get done, and also have an upcoming presentation which kind of explains that as well. But you can see I printed this whole sheet of acrylic using the eufyMake. There's my registration dots for the epilogue system. And then I threw this in after it was printed into the laser and cut all these out. And then put the key tag on, and that's what I was able to produce. All right, so if you guys, are just thinking that the eufyMake is for printing on products, you can actually use this machine to make your own products. Now, what is this useful for? So if you're an earring designer, you love doing laser cut earrings, this is the kind of technology paired with your laser that makes the most sense to me, that brings, I think, the most value to your type of business, where you can actually utilize. And I know that not everyone knows how to do print and cut operation yet, but seriously, with all these eufyMakes out there in the world now, it's kind of, and you've got a laser, a CO2 laser that can cut acrylic. It's kind of one of those skills that you need to learn really quick, because that's how you're going to be able to make your life easier and cut all your different designs out of any color acrylic that you want to print on, really. So they let me know that when this print is over, which is in about 3 minutes, I can't believe that this thing is churning these things out so fast. Like, I ran these prints, earlier in the week just to gauge how much time it was going to take, and I was kind of blown away. It really goes fast when you're printing on a light colored substrate, like light colored wood, light colored acrylic, or white blanks of anything. Kind of, I would think like sublimation blanks would probably work really well. Flat sublimation blanks would probably work really well with this system as well. But leatherette patches, laser cut acrylic that you already printed on. One of the other things you guys saw me do in my crazy Temu video was I took so many random products from Temu and printed on all these different substrates. If you haven't watched that video, later after the stream's over, you should definitely go and watch that video. I mean, I could sit here and talk about all the different surfaces, but it really did a great job at printing on all those surfaces. What are one of the funniest things? Like this whole random batch of lighters that I got, like these tiny little logos on these things, they don't take that long to print at all. And that's actually with a white underbase, because this is a black lighter. And you could offer these at like a 25 pack for a client of yours that just wants to have some branded lighters. Maybe they're a cigar club, maybe it's a liquor store, or a restaurant, who knows. But branding small items in batch mode using like the Seclima mat and using the mini bed and these techniques that I'm kind of sharing with you, that's how this machine really should get used, in my opinion. Yes, you can use it for crazy art projects and stuff like that, but really start to think in your head, like, what kind of small items and promotional items can you start making for your customers? So where are we at? Oh, we got 2 minutes left. That's nothing. Ooh, those look so good. I can't wait to show those to you. Those are great. So if you're just joining the stream, we are celebrating the official, I would say, in-stock launch of the eufyMake. This machine right here is the eufyMake E1 desktop UV printer. It is available right now, no more waiting, in stock, ships within 72 hours, and they've got some serious specials going on. There is a link in the description, right in the description of this video, I believe. They might have posted it in the chat as well. They have 2 really crazy offers going on. They've got the Deluxe package, which comes with the rotary, because you're definitely gonna wanna be doing some tumblers and cups. That's another big selling item in my world, in the laser engraving world. The Deluxe bundle comes with both the beds, the laminator, so you can do like UV DTF stickers, which we talked about earlier in the stream, and you can get $400 off the Deluxe, $100 off of the eufyMake, and eufyCare, and also 2 sets of ink with the Deluxe bundle. So that's a pretty screaming deal, and the fact that it ships like now is great. I mean, that's kind of what this whole live stream is about. And then they also have the regular kit, which also is $200 off, and you can also get $100 off. So if you add that all up, it's basically like a potential $800 in savings. So where are we at? Oh yeah, whenever you hear this thing doing its final pass, I know when it's doing its final pass because it's running like a final system. So what was that, 9 minutes? Wow. So it's bringing it in. We're about to do the big reveal. Are we ready to announce some of those giveaway winners? You want to do a reveal of this first? Yeah, all right. There we go, folks. So let's see how these turned up, and then we'll announce the winners of the giveaway. So one of the reasons I picked this acrylic was because it actually is kind of the color of the baseball, of a baseball. And I thought that it worked really well with whatever logo it was going to AI generate. And I don't know if you can see, once again, we just printed on standard quality. That was not high resolution. This is like full production quality. And all these need now is a little ribbon that you could probably buy for super cheap, just a little clip to run through there, and you've got some medals for your local rec ball youth league that you can show off or go pitch them and just show them some of the capabilities you can do. One of the other things that you can do with this, and you've seen me do this before, is you can actually print on metallic acrylic. So if you wanted to give these a gold effect or a silver effect or a bronze effect, you can buy some laser mats from like Johnson Plastic Plus and print these on the metallic acrylic as well to give them even more pop if you wanted to. So those came out super, super awesome. Let's see. So let me tell you about this Seclima mat. So you see how hard I press those down because I don't want my acrylic bowing up. And it's not really an issue for 1/8 acrylic, but it holds it down so hard that sometimes I have to use my knife to like peel these off. But anyway, they are just great. You want to get a shot of that really quick? This came out really, really nice. I did a test run before and I was really blown away by the way these came out. Dude, those came out so, so nice. So now what am I going to do with these? I'm probably going to put them in my showroom, put a ribbon on them, and put them out for my customers to see. And that's one of the other things that's really important if you have like a storefront or a lookbook or a place where customers can actually see some of the things that you're capable of doing with the eufyMake. So we pop these off of there. Boom, boom. So 9 minutes, 12 metals. Let me do a little cost breakdown. We got any winners yet?
Got winners.
We got winners? Oh, okay. Hold on there, Skippy. I want to make sure these people. All right, so we're doing all three. Okay, so this is exciting. All right, so here is the winners of the $150 gift cards here on this stream on Laser Engraving 911. So we've got Me Jane Makes. You have won a $150 gift card. We've got Brian Haynes 4083. You have won a $150 eufyMake gift card. And we've got Andrew, I'm sorry if I mess up your name, Karana, dude, you won, and everybody who won the $150 gift cards, congrats. Listen, in the description of this video, what you need to do is there is an email for people who won in there. Just email them, let them know that you were one of the winners, and they will get back to you and make sure that you get your gift card. Let me, that's awesome. I'm so glad that eufyMake was like, hey, we want to do a bunch of giveaways. I was like, that's awesome. People are going to love this, especially whoever's going to win that little guy right there. So, so anyway, wanted to break down really quickly like what I would charge for these for like 12 of them. So I got my little notes again here. So my material cost for a sheet of that was about, with shipping, about $21. And that yielded 12 of those metals. They're almost 3 inches. They're just a little bit shy of 3 inches. And what I would sell those at with the ribbon is $18 a piece in a batch of 12. So 12 metals, $216, 9 minutes. Didn't even have to like draft the art in Adobe Illustrator, minus my $21. So about $195 would be my take home on that order. I really like the fact that you can generate, you know, basic art like that. It might need a little tweaking, you know, in Adobe Illustrator, but for the most part, that was like pretty nice that it was able to generate that in, and I didn't really have to think too much about it. So, and overall, 9 minutes of print time, you know, what, another 3 or 4 minutes of setting it up, maybe another, I don't know how long it took to cut those out, maybe 3 minutes on the laser to cut some 1/8 inch acrylic. But anyway, I just wanted to show you guys another example of how to use the machine in a practical way. So we did that giveaway. Let's see, let's go back and see where we're at next. So I've showed you guys a couple of awesome demos using the machine, and I kind of wanted to, you know, break down a little bit more about the capabilities of, not really the capabilities, but just kind of why the machine is built the way it's built. So one of the things that it has in here is it has a air filter, a charcoal air filter built into to kind of deal with the fumes. And the jet clean is one of the most kind of innovative things that I think they've done. So in the side over here, they've got the jet cleaning cartridge, which is really important. It collects the waste ink, but it also has the jet cleaning fluid. And even when I'm not using this printer, I can hear it in there maintaining the print head. And it does a really, really good job. Even if I don't print for 2 or 3 or 4 days, it just does this little cycle. I don't know, some kind of Eufy wizardry in there where it's cycling the jet clean through the print heads, keeping them moist, keeping the print station capped. And it's got, you know, all the standard stuff, the wiper blade and stuff in there. But I remember my very first eufyMake over a year ago. I didn't use it for about a month and a half. And it was plugged in. And when I finally went and fired it up, I did like 3 test prints and it was like working again. Like it was just working before I was using it. And that was because it was maintaining itself. Now I know there's a lot of mixed opinions about the closed cartridge system, and you know, I think the video that they released recently, whatever your thoughts on it, was very well done. They released a video on their site, you can check it out later, where they talked about why they chose to do the closed cartridge system. So that is really to kind of keep the whole controlled environment of the system to ensure that you're always getting quality like this by not introducing like third-party inks and stuff like that. So, oh, right, understood. So, yeah, that's fine. They just gave me a little note that, you know, while I did choose to print on lighters and I think it's safe, you might want to think twice about printing on lighters that have gas in them, or maybe just empty lighters for safer. So they wanted me to mention that. That's fair, that's fair. I think that's fair. So now that we've kind of gone through kind of some overviews of the machine, you know, why they built it, the way they built it, I think what we want to do now is kind of open up to some Q&A. What do you guys think about that? You guys want to do some Q&A? I want to do some Q&A. I mentioned it earlier. I definitely want to try to answer any of your questions. I can't answer them all the best I can. So why don't we throw some questions in there?
Is there a smell when it prints?
Is there a smell when it prints? So yes, when the UV ink is cured by the UV lamp, a chemical reaction is occurring. And that's what the filter here is for. And some people are more sensitive than others. Personally, I'm not one of those sensitive people that it really bothers me or I get headaches from it. I think the filter does a really good job, but that's just me. That doesn't mean that there's not people out there that are very sensitive. In fact, if my wife's watching, which I'm not sure she is very sensitive to smells. And she's come down while I've been printing and be like, "Ooh, I can smell that. What's that smell?" So, but it hasn't ever bothered me to the point where, or anybody else in the shop for that matter, to where it's given us headaches or anything like that. But it really depends on who you are. One of the cool things, and I'm really glad you brought that up, is that eufyMake is introducing a whole filter system attachment with a blower and an exhaust fan for anyone who is sensitive to smell, where the charcoal filter is not doing it for you. In fact, I have one that I'm going to be doing a demonstration on a later video, and it is very cool, very eufyMake, very slick looking. It's a exhaust fan that hooks right into here, and it doesn't look ugly. It looks like it's part of the machine, and it works really good. We got another one, Josh?
Yeah, I like this one from earlier. Mustard SDI asked, have you printed with flexible ink on leather and fabric, and how has it worked?
Yes. So Mustard asks, have I printed on using the flexible ink on leatherette, leather, and flexible? I wouldn't say fabric, but definitely on leatherette for sure, and definitely on leather. And yes, that is the way to go. If you want to print on things that are going to flex, like a hat patch, or say like a belt or leather belt or something like that, you're definitely going to want to switch out your regular hard white ink cartridge for the flexible ink. And actually, the software is super smart. If you select leather or something in the materials you're about to print on, it will prompt you to switch out to the other type of ink. And then you can do it, switch it, and then it will cycle through some of that flexible ink to prime it up again, and you're ready to start printing on flexible products.
Wansel wants to print on tumblers and is wondering if it's dishwasher safe or hand wash only. Is that a possibility?
Yeah, that's a great question. So one other question, who was it that asked that?
Wansel.
Wansil?
Yeah.
Wanson? All right, hey, Juan. Here we go. So you're asking, when printing on powder coated tumblers, is it dishwasher safe versus, like, we'll compare it to UV DTF decals, right? So in my experience, what I have found is that if you print directly after you prime, make sure you clean the surface really well with adhesion promoter if you want to. I like to use methanol, it works well too. If you print directly on the tumbler, I literally have tumblers in my house for months and months and months that have been through the dishwasher, like full wrap tumblers, and there is not one piece of ink that has flaked off of any of those tumblers. So direct printing is the most dishwasher safe. UV DTF decals, I would definitely say you're probably going to want to hand wash those, although I have heard that people have run those through the dishwasher and they've held up pretty good. So in my opinion, direct print is the most dishwasher safe. UV decals, probably safer to say hand washing, but you should definitely run it through the ringer when you get yours and see what holds up better. Yeah, I mean, I've heard a few people having luck with that, but definitely the high heat of the dishwasher, especially during the drying cycle, could probably mess with the adhesive. So I usually use, when it comes to UV DTF decals, what I usually use it for is actual products that are going to be given to the customer or that they're going to hand out, not so much drinking products or food products and stuff like that. Got another question?
Yeah, I like this one. Duck Wood Designs asked, would it be faster to print onto a sheet of acrylic than take it to the laser and print to cut, or to print directly on them?
Ooh, that is a great, and Duck Wood, what's up, man? Because I know, that's a great question. So the question is would it be faster to laser cut all the shapes, laser cut your metals out first, use the cyclomamat to print, all those outlines and stuff, and then place those like I did, with the metals, or just print all the designs for the metals with the registration marks and throw them in the laser. So if you have the ability to use print and cut, which don't know if everybody has that capability, it would be faster because you'd be saving the time of printing out those templates on the cycloma mat. So technically, it would be a little faster. And if you had your print and cut dialed in really, really tight and you knew how to just bam, 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 it probably would be a little faster to print the whole sheet, bring it over the laser, cut them out, and be done. But not everybody has that capability right now. So I would say it's just a minimal amount more time because you have to print the templates out. Not a huge amount of savings. If you have to do it that way, it works fine that way as well.
Angela0037, is there a way to print on mugs and tumblers with handles?
Yes, actually there is. So Angela, what is it?
Oh, it is Angela0037.
Angela0037 wants to know, is there a way to print on powder coated tumblers with handles? And you know, as long as they're not too weird shaped and they're pretty straight mugs or cups with handles, the answer is yes. So the rotary unit, let me get this out really quick. It's a great question. This is a very advanced rotary unit, and I can already tell by where we're at in the stream that we won't have time to get into it, but I love this rotary unit. So first of all, it's self-leveling, self-measuring, okay? So that means that once you put the tumbler in it, it'll measure the diameter and kind of figure out the whole size of it. Very cool to watch. But one of the things that it has right here is there is a laser right here and a sensor that shoots right, I can't show it all, but it shoots right through here. And when that tumbler with a handle is spinning around, when it's doing its measuring, it senses where the handle is, and then it goes back the other way and senses where the other side of the handle is. So it knows that and it also prompts you to put in that you're about to do a tumbler with a handle, and it figures out where the handle is by itself, which, I'm sorry, it's pretty amazing to see, and it's pretty amazing that it can do that. So yes, the answer is yes. It's not going to do every single tumbler with a handle, but most of the time, like those standard straight coffee mugs, it works really well. eufyMake has some really nice tumblers that you can print on with handles.
We got time for two more.
Two more questions. Cool.
Crossroad asks, where can I learn more about the print and cut?
Where can you learn more about the print to cut? So definitely on YouTube, there are some great tutorials on how to set up your files in print to cut. I have an event coming up that I'll be doing a presentation on. If you haven't checked out Euimake Fest, that is a virtual online education event about UV printing. There will be some presentations in there that will teach you how to set up those files. So make sure that you watch my video on my channel later on Euimake Fest. That would be a great place for you to learn how to do print and cut.
Okay, last question. X6 asks, should I be printing one or two things daily or save up projects and print a bunch in one day?
Oh, you know what? So the question is should I be printing things daily or saving up a bunch of products and just having like a print day or a print hour or something like that? And I think that really depends on your kind of business model and your workflow. If you're wondering if you should print things daily to keep the printer primed, and that's what you were kind of thinking, like if you don't print things daily, like something's going to happen to the machine, that is definitely not the case with this machine. This machine can hold its own without being printed for days and days and days. But one thing that I like to do every single day, even if I'm not going to be printing, is I do run that test print and one picture every single day just to run some ink through it. It's just something I do, but you don't even have to do that. So, all right. So I think that's going to wrap it up for our question and answer section. I know there was probably a bunch of other questions in there. I will be making a lot more eufyMake videos, so hopefully I'll get some of those questions answered in the video. So right now, what we're going to talk about is basically, you know, we've shown, you know, practical ways that you can use the eufyMake. We've shown how you can laser cut items and print on those items. We've talked about all the different substrates, and basically what I focused on in this live stream is I'm kind of sharing with you the way that I've been using this machine. And there are a lot of different uses for this machine. I can't even possibly think of them all. But one thing I can tell you is that right now, these machines, there was a lot of waiting going on during the Kickstarter campaign, and that was a real pain point, you know, and everybody's aware of that. eufyMake's aware of that. And I think that they're really trying to make good on that kind of extended wait period by bringing in so much stock. So that is really what's going on right now, is that they have just got thousands and thousands of warehouse full of these machines ready to ship right now. And if you've been on the fence, if you've been thinking about it, if you hopefully don't need to see any more, I mean, there's some crazy stuff that we've printed on. So many great projects that I've seen people printing on. This is the time to get your kit. So listen, they've got a deluxe version available right now with some serious discounts. There's a link in the description of this video and in the top of the chat window. The deluxe package, which comes with that rotary, all the beds, 2 sets of ink cartridges, and trust me, that first set of ink cartridges you're going to probably just be using for testing and just going crazy with it like I did. So it'll be really nice to have that extra one. You've got, what did I already say, the $400 off the deluxe kit. Then you've got $100 off of the eufyMake Care, which is like their extended warranty. They've also got a screaming deal going on just the basic unit with the full bed and the mini bed and 1 set of ink. It's $200 off of that right now until May 19th. And then you can also get $100 off of that eufyMake Care kit. So those deals are some of the most incredible deals that I've seen since they finally shipped out all the units from the Kickstarter. This is really a really cool way to, you know, make up for those delays and offering these kind of deals on this right now. So link in the description. You know, if you're a small laser engraving business, larger laser engraving business, and you just want to start offering some sort of colored projects, laser cutting your own, you know, I'm telling you right now that this machine has paid for itself at least one time over since I've had it. Yes, I've been making content with it, but I've actually been using it to make really cool color printed on products for my customers. You know, told you about the shampoo bottles. I made some decals for a guy a few weeks ago that was doing a display box for he's a collector, for his action figures. He didn't want laser engraved acrylic on the acrylic box. He wanted full color decals. That was a really sweet job. We did some pledge paddles for a college student, and we printed the college chevron on them and then did engraving on the wood handle. I'll try to post pictures of those on the community tab, but there are just so many opportunities once you have this in your shop to open up the doors. So I think that, my hope is that during this live stream, it's kind of giving you guys some new ideas of how you can be utilizing your machine. You guys can always hit me up. You guys know where to find me on email. If you have any other questions about it, or I didn't get to your questions, feel free to shoot me an email. But with that, I think we are going to do the final giveaway. If you guys are excited about that, I need you to throw a like on this video if you haven't already. If you haven't already subscribed to Laser Engraving 911 and this is your first time here learning about this product, first of all, welcome. But you know, you got to make sure you hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, throw some hearts on this stream. This has been a long time coming. We've been doing a lot of planning to really just get this presentation out there for you. But yeah, I think it's time. I think it's time. So here's how this is going to work for the final big giveaway. So, and then while we're picking a winner for that giveaway, we've got some other really, really exciting news that I'm going to share with you on the stream. So make sure that you don't close this stream. This stream is not going to end. But here's what you need to do. So in the description of the video, there is a link if you don't already have the eufyMake site stream open. You need to open that up. You need to register on that stream to get entered to win, because the giveaway for the unit is going to be on their stream. It's not going to be here. So we'll announce the winner in oh, perfect. That gives me time. So we're going to announce the winner in about 5 minutes, but right now, this is your call to action to go get entered to win over on eufyMake site to get entered to win. So keep the stream open. Mute me if you have to, but or mute the site when you're in their chat window. However you want to do it. But you need to head over there now and follow the instructions on their site to get entered to win on their stream. Just make sure you don't close this stream and head on over there, because they're about to give away one of these units, and then we're going to come back here and we're going to announce the winner. They'll announce it there, but we're also going to announce it there. So that's really exciting. I really, 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 really want someone to win one of these machines so I can stop talking about it and you can just experience it for yourself, because it truly is a little, I call it, it's a little, it could do some big prints, but it's a little workhorse. If there's anybody that has been putting this thing to work, it has been me. I have been printing all kinds of stuff in all kinds of different ways, and I'm here to tell you that it has held up to pretty much everything I have thrown at it. So, all right, so I hope that you guys are over there entering the live stream right now. And I think that while you guys are over there, I wanted to talk about some other, do you want me to, should I wait to talk about some of the new exciting things that are coming?
Yeah, the ink subscription.
You want me to talk about that right now? All right, so if you guys still have my stream open, and I hope that you do, I wanted to talk about some things that I wasn't even aware of that they kind of let me know to mention to you. So let me find my little things here. Let's see what section it is here. So one of the cool things that they have coming in Q3, which I'm hope that you all are very, very excited about, is that they are going to introduce a large ink system that will work with the eufyMake, so you can buy not the small cartridges anymore, but buy cartridges in bulk. I haven't seen any pictures of how it's going to work or what it looks like. They haven't shared that with me. I don't know if it's going to sit out here and feed ink in. I don't know if it's going to be like really tall cartridges that go in, but anyway, the point of that is they have heard you and they understand that the cost of the ink, is, they think pretty, you guys think are pretty high compared to other machines. So they heard you, and they are going to be introducing a much larger cartridges of ink that will, when you buy those larger tanks, however it is, like I said, I haven't seen it, you'll be saving a significant amount on ink, especially for those of you that are going to be doing a lot of batch jobs like we talked about. The other thing that they have coming up, which is actually live, I believe right now, is they have an ink subscription services. So if you sign up for their ink replenishment subscription service, you can definitely save on the cost of ink when you sign up for that, and it will just get delivered to you automatically. And then let's see, there was one more thing that I wanted to mention on that. Do you remember what it is, Josh? Oh yeah, the air purification, which we already talked about because someone asked the question about, does the smell bother me? And yes, they have come out with a air purification attachment They're calling it, it's basically basically an exhaust fan with some filtration in it that I think you take this off, you slide it right in here. It looks super sleek, doesn't make your eufyMake look weird, and you can exhaust any of those fumes right outside or into a fume extractor if that's what you're using. But it is definitely coming. I have seen it, it exists, and it is awesome. So that, huh? What is it? The oh yeah, I did. We already talked about that. Yeah, so I think that's what I'm excited about. I'm definitely want to see some prototype pictures of what in Q3 of whatever that large ink system is going to look like, because I think that's going to make people really, really, really happy. So you know, I had a printer a long time ago when I think it was not a UV printer, but I remember all the pain points of that printer and having to print on it every single day, and all the ink would get clogged, especially the white ink. And so funny story, when they first reached out to me a year ago and was like, hey, do you want to review this? I was like, look, I've had really bad experiences with printers that clog up, and they were like, look, we've already solved that, and we really want you to try our printer. We, you know, are confident that that is not going to happen to you. They were really nice. They were like, sorry that you had that experience. A lot of time has gone by. We've made improvements. And so when I first got this printer, I have to be honest, I was kind of like, I knew this thing's going to clog up if I don't use it and all this stuff. And I was really blown away when it actually did what they said it was going to do, which was maintain itself, make sure the ink heads don't get clogged. And so that's, I think, one of the coolest things that they've really kind of hammered out in this thing. And the 3D embossment, why it does use a lot of white ink, is something that I don't know how their AI wizardry takes a flat image and knows where to raise certain parts and lower certain parts, but whatever they've done, it always comes out super accurate every single time. So you know, that's another one of the features I like. And remember some of my tips, you know, the most cost-effective way to make money that I try to make money here in the machine is by trying to print when I can on light colored objects, so I don't have to use much or very little white ink. That is just something I want you to take away from this live stream, is start thinking of things that you can print that have a white underbase, even if you print over the whole thing so no white is showing, because when you print on laser cut white material, white leatherette or white anything, you don't have to use the white ink, and you're speeding up your job time, and you're making more money, and you're saving your white ink for those prints that really need that white ink embellishment. So how we doing, man? We have a winner? We have a winner. All right. So, is that a C?
That is Caring Coffee 33.
Caring Coffee 33, you have just won the eufyMake E1 printer and an ink cartridge, and they will get a hold of you because you won that on their site. Congratulations. That's awesome. I hope that you are jumping up and down, screaming yay, spinning around in your seat or wherever you are. But congratulations, and thank you to everyone who's been playing all night. But listen, that's awesome, dude, that they they did that. So I think we're about ready to wrap up the live stream. You guys have been great. Anybody who's thrown any questions in there, you guys have done a wonderful job at participating. Yeah. And don't forget, of course, you know, along with the giveaways, along with the tutorials, along with seeing my, you know, cycle of everything, they are offering some pretty amazing deals right now on the site. So if you've been on the fence, You've got that link in the description. You've got it in the chat window. So you can get basically a total of $800 in savings if you want to combine it all, depending on what model you get right now. And these are shipping right now, like within the next 72 hours. There's no more waiting involved. So just one last time, you know, if you get the deluxe bundle, you're getting $400 off of that. That comes with the rotary, the laminator for UV DTF, 2 ink cartridges, and then you can get another $100 off of the eufyMake Care. So there's $500 in savings, plus that extra ink cartridge, which is like $300. So if you add, you know, the $500 and the $300 for the extra ink cartridge on the deluxe kit, that's a total savings of about $800 on the deluxe kit. If you just want to get the basic kit, you're still kind of on the fence. It's cool that they're still offering the $200 discount on the basic kit and the ink cartridge. So super sweet deals, super sweet giveaways on the live stream tonight. And I just want to say a big thank you to anybody that was new on the channel, anybody that hung out with us the whole time, participated, asked questions. All my subscribers, thank you so much for your support and for helping make this channel what it is. And I want to say a big thank you to eufyMake for giving me the opportunity to come and kind of share with you guys what I've been doing with the machine and kind of break down some real practical use cases for the machine. So before we sign off, I just want to also send a reminder to you guys that if you won here on YouTube, right? This is different from if you won over on the eufyMake site. Use the email in the description of this video and make sure that you email them and let them know that you won on Laser Engraving 911 in the chat window so they can get a hold of you. And that way they can make sure that they are in contact with you. Don't rely on them to email you. You need to email them. So with that, I will see you on the next video. And thank you for hanging out on Laser Engraving 911.